Hi everyone, How's Ferry again, and this video is going to be about me building a shed base. For this shed that I picked up free of charge on FreeCycle in pieces, I did have to assemble it. Just a temporary shed just to house all of my garden tools or whatever, so that it's all in one place and not scattered around the garden, so I can move on to the next project, which is going to be a greenhouse. This is where I decided for it to go. I'll show you the bird's eye view of my garden in a minute so you can see why I chose that spot. I needed some slabs, so I decided to use the slabs of the path because I was going to get rid of them anyway. I had to clean them all up, which was quite easy, and I managed to salvage enough to do the job. That's my path now, with no slabs. Started to level off the area, and I did actually tamp it down before I did anything else, and I worked out the size that I needed and bought some tannalised wood to form a frame to keep the ballast in place. I made sure that the frame was completely level. I had to support it in certain places with bits of brick or bits of tile. I had to rebuild a wall on the right, or build a new wall on the right, because it wasn't supported well on that side. The ground is slightly sloping, so I made sure that it was going to be well supported. And I even slotted some tiles down to offset the gaps to make sure that roots don't go in and start to disturb the foundation. I bought a lot of bags of ballast and tamped it down just with my feet. Walked over it a lot of times, more than it's shown in the photo. I did have loads and loads of clips of this job, about 160 clips I think, and I lost them all. I deleted them from my camera by mistake, so you just have photos, unfortunately. Sorry about that. You have to trust me that I did all of the work on my own. A tiny little bit from my daughter, but other than that it was just me on my own. I'm just levelling the sand. It's actually quite hard to do that. It was a bit of an annoying job. Sorry, that was sand and cement on top of the ballast. It was a dry sand and cement on top of the ballast, and I eventually managed to level off the paving slabs. You have to put them down, lift them up again, put them down until they're level. And this is some dry mortar mix that I put a large old stone slab on that's going to be the doorstep. I did put some grout in between, a dry grout mix of fine sand and cement. Then I decided that I wanted to harvest the water from the shed, so I got this water butt free of charge on FreeCycle, and I needed a stand for the water butt. I didn't want to buy a plastic one because I don't think it would last. And I also wanted to store a watering can underneath the water butt, ready for when I need to get some water. So I made this base unit. It was very simple, just making it up as I was going along, really not planned at all. And I mixed some mortar to set the bricks, which was quite easy. I rendered up the sides as well. My rendering was not great though. And I smoothed all around the edges to prevent weeds from getting in there and causing trouble, and to encourage a nice smooth flow of water drainage away from the area, away from the shed. At the moment I've just got sand around there, but I will eventually have some kind of path probably made of pieces of stone or slate. I won't do that until I've got all my buildings finished. Then I wanted to fill in the gap between the step and the slab, and I used some of the jade pebbles that I've got and some mortar and smooth it down with a paintbrush. Then I decided I wanted to round off the corner because that's kind of a walkway corner, so it's nice to have a rounded corner where people walk. And I salvaged some bricks from the garden, from in the ground, and I set them in higgledy-piggledy to add a bit of character. And I'm just creating a nice rounded off curb around the slab to encourage rainwater to fall away off the slab and to make it look nicer. I did use plastic fibres in this, but in the future I'm going to use hair because I think it's better to use natural materials rather than putting plastic fibres into things. It probably do the same job. So that's all rounded off, smoothed with a paintbrush. Actually a lot easier than you might think, and a really enjoyable job actually, and I enjoyed doing that. So my rendering is not quite so good on that water butt stand. And then I decided I wanted to have a screen to screen off the side of the shed, a kind of living wall, and I used some tandalised wood that I picked up from B&Q for a couple of pounds. I think I got about 10 sticks from their bin, and I attached one stick to the water butt stand and set one into the ground. Those are my two supervisors. And those are the bricks set into mortar. I put the green pebbles into the gaps. There's some ground cover for plants. My shed, just a dumping ground at the moment, nothing pretty. I will improve it or change it, build my own eventually. That's my rose wall, and I've got some beans growing up there as well. I'm really happy with that. And the bamboo that I used in the living wall was actually from the garden. It was from the huge bamboo that I had to remove. It's not finished yet on the left. You can see it's not finished off, but it's being used and it's doing its job. I'm really happy with it. Cost nothing really, £1 to make. And that's the bird's eye view of my garden. It shows the shed kind of set back to the side. I'm really happy with the location of it. It's really worked well. It feels right. To the right of it I'm going to have a gate. Yeah, I'm really happy with the size and the location. I didn't do any groundwork around where the shed is because I want it to feel natural. I want it to feel oldie-worldy, a bit higgledy-piggledy. That will be paved in time with something kind of natural, kind of rough bits of stone. I'm not too sure. But the next job is the greenhouse. So please subscribe and like this video if you do. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think to it. Thanks for watching. Bye!